The silence cut his ears, the stares burning his skin. The blood drained from Tom's cheeks, making them unnaturally pale. But when he swallowed the lump in his throat and spoke, his voice sounded firm.
Have you ever played hide and seek? Do you remember as a child when the leader would close his eyes, turn his back to the wall and count out loud? That childish voice has been in my head for as long as I can remember. Imagine my surprise when I realized that others couldn't hear it.
Many years ago.
Mom, please listen. I hear a voice. Can't you hear it?
What voice?
A little girl is playing hide and seek. When she counts to 10.
Mommy waved it off and turned away from the TV. Little Tom squeezed his eyes shut and covered his ears with the palms of his hands, trying to drown out the counting. As Tom grew older, he clenched his eyes too, bringing back to his mind that picture his mother's still profile in the light of the blue screen.
Honestly, it was scary at first, especially after I noticed a peculiarity. When that thing counted to 10, the person next to me would die. At best, he was badly injured.
The flickering frames on the screen speed up, as if to match the counting of the child's voice in the boy's head. The mother, not understanding what has happened to the television, reaches to change the channel. 9, 10, bam. Shards of kinescope rain down on the room. Adult Tom opened his eyes.
The number of corpses around me grew over the years. Now, in my 20s, it's up to 24. I stopped counting injuries when I was 12, when I stopped at 173. There was no order to this creature's actions. There could be anywhere from a minute to a year between appearances. The game could have started at any time. There was no sign of trouble that day.
Winter mornings. Tom was awakened by a kiss on his unshaven cheek. "Happy New Year, my love," said the girl.
Happy holidays to you, too.
You didn't forget about our meeting with our friends? I'm off to get presents. I'll meet you at 5:30.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock in the evening, a group of friends entered Tom's best friend's apartment. Everyone wishes each other a happy new year. They are happy to celebrate the new year together. The music was playing loudly, everyone was dancing and having fun. Remembering the happy faces of his friends made Tom smile. His smile caused a big wave of alienation from the audience.
The celebration captured people's souls, taking them to a land of carefree fun under the vapors of alcohol. My foggy mind clung to some strange details in the surroundings. A huge number of sharp objects that surrounded the small crowd of people that consisted of my friends and my girlfriend. Daggers on the wall. A strangely nailed nail that no one noticed. Fireworks. We're here to have fun.
The New Year's chimes had long ago rung out, but the festivities never stopped. Tom stopped noticing the crowd of his friends, staring at the shining Christmas tree.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh no, not now.
And then Tom heard a voice.
Hi, let's play a game.
The child's voice in Tom's mind seemed so real, as if it had sounded quite close.
Maybe not now.
He squeezed his eyes shut and tried to visualize his interlocutor. It was a girl with dark hair. She seemed to be pouting.
No, now. I want to play. Hide, I'll start looking.
Realizing that time was short and we had to hurry, Tom immediately turned off the music.
All right. Listen up, everybody. Let's go for a walk.
What are you doing? I want to play with everyone. Hide. 1.
The childish voice in his head became indignant. Everyone started to gather, supporting the idea of the walk. Kyle, Tom's best friend, turned the key in the lock and pushed the door open. But the door didn't open. After several failed attempts, Kyle banged on the door with his fists and foot. Kyle started yelling what kind of joke this was. Open the door. Everyone backed him up and started cursing and yelling something unintelligible.
I'm not letting them out. You know that.
Guys, Let's be quiet. The neighbor might call the police. Leave this door. Leave it alone.
Tom took a deep breath.
Let's play hide and seek.
He who invented it is the one who seeks it, friends agreed. And Tom began to count.
1, 2.
And you're good, said the voice in Tom's head. 3. And they began to count in unison. 10, said the voice.
10. I'm sorry.
Tom felt that he had no choice. In his heart, he even hoped that he would die that night, and so he felt completely calm. The anticipation of his imminent death even made his back feel pleasantly cold.
I'm going looking.
Tom stepped slowly out into the hallway. The floorboard creaked, shattering the sepulchral silence that was only occasionally broken by distant shouts from the street. Step, step, step. The floorboards creaked quietly. Tom reached the closet, which treacherously shuttered, signaling that someone was definitely in there. Closing his eyes, Tom reached for the knob. The door opened smoothly. The light of the lamp caught the face of Emma, Tom's girlfriend, out of the darkness. She puffed up her cheeks resentfully and went into the kitchen. That's fine. Tom's heart froze, expecting the worst. He stood waiting for a scream or a fall, but no. Everything was calm. The voice laughed softly.
What are you up to?
You'll find out soon enough.
Tom continued on his way. He went from room to room, quickly finding his friends in obvious places behind the curtain, in the closet, under the table, under the blanket on the bed. They all laughed and went into the kitchen. As Tom retrieved the last friend who had fallen asleep from the bathtub, the music came on and the celebration continued. Tom was in a state of utter bewilderment.
What the hell are you up to?
It's coming up. Big game.
Tom returned to the kitchen, trying to get back into the holiday mood. It wasn't working. Strangely hammered protruding nails, sharp daggers on the walls, old windows, electrical appliances, chandelier. All of these could become instruments of death if you didn't try to stop it. Kyle went to the wall, clearly intending to remove one of the high-hanging daggers.
Kyle, fuck. No.
Tom tried to stop him, but it was too late. His best friend's mind, clouded by alcohol, had already given in. He drew a dagger from its sheath, stared into Tom's eyes with an unseeing gaze, thrust the dagger into his own belly with a grin, and made a violent upward thrust to his ribs. Squeals from the girls, bassy shouts from the guys. Tom looked at his friend, a thin trickle of blood dripping from the corner of his lips. Someone tried to call an ambulance. Someone else fell to the floor in shock. Tom lowered his head.
I apologize to everyone. I was trying to keep you safe, but I failed.
What? What do you mean? What does it mean? The friends began to ask.
I think we're all going to die today.
Is this a joke?
I'm being serious. I have something to tell you.
The friends listened to Tom's story in silence. With each passing second, their faces grew more and more surprised, more incredulous.
So here's the story. It's my demon.
And if all this is true, we can't survive?
I don't know.
Well, it was fun. Actually, it wasn't fun at all. I'm going to the police, my friend Dan said.
Dan, don't even try. You're not getting out anyway. I've explained everything.
Fuck you. I'm not going to die here, Dan replied. He turned the key in the lock, pushed on the door, but no luck. Took a little acceleration, tried to knock it out with his shoulder, and he'd do it.
Look, it's about to get fun.
The friends ran out into the hallway to see the result. The door that opened, leading to the landing, was a mirror image of the current rental apartment. What the bullshit? Dan turned around before he could say anything, and the door slammed shut on its own. The key turned in the keyhole, and there was screaming outside the door. The guys stood watching from the sidelines, but no one tried to do anything. What the hell was that? Michael, Dan's best friend, was the only one rushing to open the door, but to no avail. It wouldn't budge. He looked at the phone. There was no connection. Fuck. It's you, you bastard. It's your fault. He threw his fists at Tom. He didn't fight back. Tom realized he was really guilty. Punch. 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 Michael, don't. Stop it. Screamed the girl Emma. Suddenly, Michael stopped. As if in a trance, he pushed away his friends who were desperately trying to hold him back and ran headlong into the very nail in the kitchen that Tom had been holding Tom's head against, leaving him hanging on it. Stacy was hysterical. Alan tried to calm her down, but he seemed to need help himself. His body was shaking violently. This has to stop somehow, Emma said. Tom shook his head.
Although, we can try something. Stace and Adam, go to the bathroom. There's less chance of you killing each other somehow. And I'll prop the door open with a chair so you can't get out.
What about you and Emma?
I will be the last to die anyway. And I can just protect Emma. At least I hope so.
Didn't miss me? Guess who I'll find next?
Fuck off.
Oh, don't be rude. And these two seem to be hiding together.
I'm sorry, folks.
Emma flinched at Tom's shoulder when she heard the sound of the mirror shattering. Tom jumped up from the couch, hoping to stop the boys, but it was too late. By the time he jerked open the door, there were already distinct deep cuts on their necks and blood was gushing out fast. Alan and Stacy leaned against the wall and stared Tom dead in the eyes.
Fuck. Stop it, please.
Come on, it's fun.
No.
I don't care. I want to play.
Tom went back into the room and sat down on the couch next to a quietly crying Emma.
I hope the neighbors have already called the police because of the screaming.
Oh, I think I found the last one.
Please leave her alone. She doesn't have to die.
She must. And you will kill her.
His consciousness was blurred. Tom felt like he was watching a movie in which his hands were on his beloved girl's throat, squeezing it tightly. Emma beat Tom's face and arms with her fists with the last of her strength until her lungs ran out of air. Tom's consciousness was screaming, but he could do nothing. When it was over, he fell to his knees. The police were already busting down the door, and Tom just sat exhausted on the carpet in the middle of the corpses of his friends and his favorite girl. The door was kicked in. Holy shit. Hands on your head, motherfucker, shouted the cop. Meeting my friend's parents, 5 months of investigation and beating in jail made me a different person. Tom finished his story and looked around the courtroom. The prosecutor began to babble something, and the lawyer, sensing a complete loss, tried to parry it sluggishly. When the judge left for sentencing, there was a small rumble in the courtroom.
Damn things. No one wants to believe me. I mean, really, you believe that crap? A spirit that took over the guy's body, what is this nonsense?
You look sad.
You know what the funny thing about all this is?
What is it?
I have no one left in the whole world. Except you.
And what do you mean by that?
Do you want to play?
Do you suggest it yourself? Did you like it?
After prison, I'm starting to get a taste for it. You're looking.
All right, let them hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The judge returned and began to read the sentence. To find guilty and to impose a sentence of 25 years imprisonment in a strict regime colony. The defendant. What is your last word?
Pen. I'm going looking.
Tom smiled predatorily and squinted his eyes at the judge and asked,
Have you been playing hide and seek for a long time? Would you like to play?
The open doors of the courtroom slammed shut, leaving everyone isolated. The game has begun.